So, Clair Obscur Expedition. So, what the hell is that, people? Turn-based RPG, check it out. Okay, I will. So, this is gonna be on PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X. Developed by Sandfall Interactive. Groundbreaking turn-based RPG with unique real-time mechanics, making battles more immersive and addictive than ever. I don't know, man. This looks pretty Western-ish. Yeah. This totally looks like a Western RPG. Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshots here, and the girl, she's a redhead, and she looks pretty. As you know, nowadays they want to get rid of pretty women in video games. So, I don't know, man. I don't trust modern games at all whatsoever for obvious reasons. Every single game has an agenda. It seems to me like everything modern in movies, shows, just like Minty said, everybody's just a chess piece attacking each other's politics. That's what he said, and I agree. I mean, I don't know about this game, man. I mean, you guys are excited for it, that's cool. I stopped getting excited for any video game whatsoever in existence from now on. It's just, I'm so tired of agendas, man. Anyway, so what do you think about SMT5? Yeah, I feel like it was not as good as Nocturne or 4. I felt like in some areas it was superior to Nocturne and 4, while in others it was weaker. I think, for example, in story, it's weaker, definitely weaker. In like characters, voice acting included in English and Japanese, it was weaker. You know, Nocturne and 4 are far superior in terms of story, characters, and the Japanese and English dub. To be honest, SMT5, the English dub was kind of like, it only made the story worse. I've always said this, that the story in SMT5 is not bad. It's not as bad as they make it out to be, but it's not that great either, you know, it's just good, decent, entertaining, and that's it. Doesn't hold a candle to the stories in Nocturne and 4. So, in terms of music, it's on par, it's actually that great, you know. I think Nocturne and 4 are a little bit better, you know, but the music in 5 just didn't disappoint. We can't compare the graphics because they're different consoles and different generations, right? I think, 5 being, I haven't played Vengeance, which came out a few days ago, so I'm guessing it looks awesome on the PS5, right? But the original Switch version versus Nocturne on PS2 or 4 on the 3DS, I mean, those games look better, you know, they could have done better. But 5 looks beautiful on Switch, you know, no complaints there. And finally, gameplay is better on 5 because you got no random encounters. You don't have as many annoying puzzles and dead ends and, you know, horrible labyrinths. You do have some annoying labyrinths in 5, but not as horrible as the ones in Nocturne or even 4. You know, in terms of gameplay, I think it's a superior game. And in terms of battle mechanics, well, it's just the same, right? It never changes. They add maybe a few extra things here and there with every title, with every main title, but it's just, it's the same combat, so it's still awesome, right? For some reason, I prefer the one in Nocturne. I like seeing my 4 characters in there and during the animations, and it's the same battle system. I can't make an argument on the battle system, man. But I think Nocturne wins by like 0.2 or something. Anyway, have you played Twin Blades of the Three Kingdoms? No. So it's not Romance of the Three Kingdoms, it's Twin Blades of the Three Kingdoms. No, I haven't played it. What do you think about the Sweet Baby asking for protection money from Wukong developer? I always knew that this is a big, extremely powerful mafia, and SBI is just a small piece of the pie, you know? I mean, we're seeing this everywhere. Governments, companies, corporations, banks, even banks. You know, everybody's promoting this thing, these political agendas, this propaganda. You know, it's gotten so goddamn big that, I mean, last year I was like, this is a mafia, man. This is something extremely powerful, extremely evil, and yeah. I've yet to meet people from these communities that is against it. Hopefully I will someday. I know there's gotta be people out there who are like with their eyes open that are like, I know what they're doing. They're taking advantage of us, you know, and they're only making people hate us even more, right? So I think this is a mafia, man. And I think it's something extremely powerful and extremely dangerous. And that, what happened with Black Myth Wukong proves it. That's your evidence right there. Like, people like me have been saying this for years. Like, this is something fucked up, man. That it's not just one company or a few governments. No, it's a worldwide explosion of companies and enterprises and corporations and shareholders. You know, a lot. I mean, you got the really big guns like Google, like Amazon, like Disney, like, and they don't seem to care. You know, Disney's losing a lot of money and they don't give a shit. Why? Why would you lose money on purpose? Because there's a fucking mafia behind it, right? Come on, this is, I mean, and now you got your evidence right there, people. For all of you who didn't believe what people like me were saying before, there's your fucking evidence. Now, we already knew this. And now it's out, exposed by this Chinese developer. This isn't new for me, okay? But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be new for a lot of you. You were still giving this progressivism the benefit of the doubt. Okay, now there's the evidence in your face that they're a big fucking evil, twisted mafia. There you go. What are your thoughts on Twitch? I've talked about Twitch before, and there's some ups and downs. The biggest up is that you can stream naturally without having to worry most of the time as with copyright claims. In YouTube, I stream in fear every single time. Every time I'm always worrying, like, oh, hopefully I won't get a copyright claim because of the music, or because of the opening, or because of this scene, or this event or something, you know. And on Twitch, you can just do whatever you want and you don't get a copyright claim. I've played games that got a copyright claim on YouTube and they didn't get a copyright claim on Twitch. So Twitch is better. It's just a more relaxing website to stream on. And you don't have, so YouTube is more about how many people are watching and how many donations you're gonna get and how much ad revenue you're gonna get. Whereas Twitch, you rely a little bit more on the subscriptions. Like if you got one person that subscribed to your channel, to your Twitch channel, that person already paid for an entire month. And if, I don't know, 10 people already paid for 1 month, then you know how much money you're gonna get no matter what. So you worry a bit less about money on Twitch. But it's true, you do make less money on Twitch. Not only because of that, but also because Twitch keeps 50% of what you make. Half of what you make. Which is really fucked up, man. YouTube only keeps 30% and that's a lot, but Twitch gets half of it. That's the worst thing about Twitch by far. How much money they keep from you. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know, but everything else is fine. Overall, which is the better platform for streaming? Twitch. Definitely. But I build my audience on YouTube. I've been streaming on YouTube since forever. More people show up to my streams than on Twitch. On Twitch, you know, I came back to Twitch since October last year, and it just hasn't worked for me. There's always like 2 people watching, 10, a maximum of 10. The most people I've seen watching me on Twitch have been like 10. So you can imagine the chat is extremely quiet. Sometimes I stream for over an hour and no one says a word. You know, so it's for me it's more engaging to stream on YouTube right nowadays. But I would prefer to stream on Twitch. It's just more relaxing. It's better. I mean, the model for streamers is just better. It's just better, man. Twitch is the better platform for streaming, and you don't have to worry about algorithms. Like, oh, my streams are failing. They're getting like 2,000 views, so YouTube's not gonna recommend my channel anymore because the algorithm's gonna judge me based on that. Twitch doesn't do that to you, so Twitch is by far the better platform for streaming. How long was your longest case of post-game depression? What do you mean by post-game depression? Like that moment when you beat a game and you're done with it and now it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with my life now? You know, you beat this fucking great game, man, and you beat it and you feel like empty, right? Is that what you mean by post-game depression? Like what happened in the end made you so sad? Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, since I was younger, I'm a writer myself, so I've been in the fantasy world in my head forever, the imaginary world, and I are very well acquainted, so I know how to perfectly differentiate between one thing or the other. So I've never had that. I've never had like a game. The only game that kind of broke me was Chrono Cross and the ending, sure. But at the end, I was so happy. I was sad, but I was so happy, that I felt like satisfied and fulfilled. And I was like, broke my heart, yeah, the ending, but at the same time, I was like, man, this is awesome. Because I value tragedy too. As much I value happy endings as well, as much as sad endings or tragic endings. This is why I was able to appreciate Redemption Reapers. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it has a tragic ending, Redemption Reapers. Okay, and the game was criticized because of that. And whereas, I'm the kind of person who I can respect and value a great ending, a positive ending, as well as a negative ending. So, in terms of like post-game depression, I've never gotten it, to be honest. The closest I can get is Chrono Cross, maybe Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. The ending was also like crushing, but at the same time there was something positive and a positive message. It's hard to answer without spoiling, but let's just wrap this up by saying that I've never experienced that. I've experienced what I told you before, like I beat a great game and now I'm moving on to the next game and I know it's not that great, so I'm missing this other game already and I'm like, I'm just going through that with Yakuza right now. I beat Yakuza Kiwami like 4 or 5 days ago and I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do now, man? The game was freaking awesome. Oh man, so now what? I'm gonna have to buy Yakuza 2, right? So, yeah, stuff like that. That's what I mean. But video game depression, as the ending destroyed me and now I'm getting depressed and I'm not gonna play anything for days and I don't know what that is, man. Chrono Cross is the closest I can think of, but no, I don't think I ever experienced that. Like I beat Chrono Cross and I was so sad I couldn't play anything else or work or move on with my life. No, never. What are your favorite cartoons? Leaving anime aside, like Dragon Ball, Saint Seiya, leaving all of those aside that I grew up with, or my favorite anime series of all time, like Ergo Proxy Claymore, leaving those aside, I guess I'm gonna go with South Park. Although South Park, there's a lot of duality in there. Sometimes they do a lot of things in favor of the left. Sometimes they do a lot of things against the left. I used to love SpongeBob. I used to love it. I haven't watched any season from SpongeBob in like 15 years maybe. But let's just say that I watched the first 3-4 seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants. And I'm a big fan, believe it or not. I love it. I love the old SpongeBob. Fuck, saying that in English is hard. SpongeBob. SpongeBob, You were a diehard too? Yeah, I was a diehard too, man. Back in the day. But I stopped watching them. I stopped watching SpongeBob a long time ago. I haven't watched anything. The Simpsons, another big one. I used to love The Simpsons. But again, I haven't watched any of the past 15 seasons, maybe 20 seasons. I love The Simpsons from the 90s and maybe the early 2000s, and that's it, But that's about it.